Okay, so let's get into a little bit of news that came out last week dealing with the transfer portal, because that is where we're at right now. It is transfer portal season, full swing, every day, transfer portal stuff. It's almost nauseating at this point already, but Memphis did land their first transfer portal addition, former Temple forward Nick Jourdain. What did you think of this addition?
Penny goes and gets guys that he's played against that killed him. Because I remember that game at Temple that we were worried about, 61-59. Kendrick puts in that crazy over the backboard
buzzer beater,
from the corner shot,
the Kawhi shot.
Win. Yeah, the Kawhi shot. Except it didn't bounce around; it went right in. But Nick Jourdain was involved on every rebound,
had
tipping
21
it out
in
to
that
folks. No, he didn't. I think he had 16 and 10 was his final.
16 and 10,
but 16 and 10, hell,
his high for the season was 21.
Right, but 16 and 10, he brings a toughness factor to the front court that they need. His averages aren't overwhelming, but I'm telling you, game to game, this is a guy who can produce in the front court in a pretty substantial way. 6'8", 240 pounds, plays tough, can stretch out a little bit. Not much of a shooter, but he can space the floor for you and try to help you out that way. Put the ball on the ground a little bit, get to the rim. I like the pickup overall, but as a first commitment, it's fantastic. But they need to add. They just need to keep adding.
Yeah, I think so many people were expecting a banger off the rip. Like so many people wanted fill in the blank. So many people wanted Kelly Ware off the rip. So many people wanted Caleb Love off the rip. And it's just like, it's about building it. And, okay, if there's not that splash edition, then if people want to complain, you can complain. But Nick Jourdain is a good, solid rotational guy that can help a team win. Is he a major needle mover that's going to take this team from, this is all hypothetical, but is he a guy that's, if this team was a fringe top 25 team going into the year and they got Nick Jourdain, would they be an automatic national championship contender? No. But he is a solid rotational guy, 6 points, 4 rebounds, nearly 2 assists, and a block a game. And as you mentioned, Penny saw him live and in person play one of his best games of the year, and he really takes into account production against his teams.
Here's the thing, though, man. Like, okay, maybe you wanted a Kelly Ware off the top, but those guys are going to wait because they have so many different offers. Nick Jourdain, I can say this about the guy. I have watched him play. I've seen what he did for Temple. That's a winning basketball player with a lot of experience. And that's all. I mean, in the end of the day, that's what Penny tried to get last year. That's what he started this transfer class with. And I think that's an overwhelming positive. He doesn't need the big name, crazy, needle-moving names. He just needs guys that can go out there and produce for him and make winning plays. And I think Nick Jourdain fills that for him.
Can I ask you a question? Christian, you said something a few minutes ago about Nick Jourdain, you wanted somebody that immediately off the rip could take the team from a first weekend NCAA tournament team to a deep run NCAA tournament team. Is there, or you even said national championship contender, is there a guy out there in the transfer portal that you think could be that guy? That the Tigers are in on right now, like those big splashes that you're talking about, because I don't
know if there is, because I feel like the overwhelming answer here for most people would be Caleb Love, because he's one of the most productive guys.
You like Jameer Nelson Jr., but he went to TCU.
He went to TCU. Yeah, he did. But I feel like a lot of people would say Caleb Love because he played at North Carolina, obviously national championship last year with them. But it's like, does he make you a national championship contender?
He's a chucker.
Right. Because
he can score for you.
Because that team didn't even go to the tournament this year with, Caleb Love and Armando Bacot.
I think there are definitely guys out there like that,
I think there are guys that can. Yes.
Jalen Cook, for example.
Yes.
I think that's a guy that would put you over the top.
But there's not
Ace Baldwin, who I love from VCU, dude. Like if Penny could get involved with him, which I know he'll have a hell of a recruitment, he's going to be getting some real.
Right.
He'll make anybody better in the country because he distributes at a high level and still scores 13 points per game. Like that's a guy I think would be a substantial needle mover by himself, almost Kendrick Davis-esque.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
there's some guys like that.
There are. But I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult to gauge that because you mentioned a guy like Jalen Cook, and Tulane didn't even make the NIT,
yeah,
right?
but
and I get
it's surrounding pieces,
right?
too.
I get the argument of it, but I don't think there's just one singular guy where you can just be like, if you get this guy, you're immediately a contender.
Yeah, you need more.
You need more.
Yeah,
Which is why I think the Nick Jourdain pickup is a big deal because he fits a need that the Tigers are
100%.
absolutely.
I totally agree.
Agree.
These are the Nick Jourdain players. Like Nick Jourdain are the kind of players every team needs to win. It's
winning
just,
ball players. That's what you need.
He's a buy-in type of guy. He's a
Yes.
guy that's unselfish, and he's going to come in and he's going to do what is asked of him from Penny Hardaway and the staff. He's going to immediately buy in to what he's asked to do and fill the role that he's asked to fill. And that's what we saw from last year. That's what Penny and the staff want. Guys that are going to come in and fill the roles that they want them to.
I guess if we're asking the question, if you had a one-person class, person that puts you over the top, no, I don't think you can have a one-person class in today's day and age of transfer portal and college basketball. You need to turn over the roster quickly. That's how you go win, and that's how you go get experience to put you over the top. But I think there are guys if you add them to a bunch of guys like Nick Jourdain that really do. I mean, last year it was Kendrick Davis, main focal point, and then Elijah McCadden and Demario Franklin and Keontae Kennedy, like guys that theoretically were winning basketball players that you could sort of plug and play.
Let me ask y'all this. I think you when Kendrick Davis came to Memphis, the talk around it was wait till you see what we're about to build here. And it felt like every time after, like as it was moving, as other guys were coming into the transfer portal, committing somewhere else, Penny's missing on some guys. Like some of these guys aren't coming that we thought would come. I think legitimately Nick Jourdain might be as good of a pickup as anybody other than Kendrick Davis that he had on the team last year in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I think you can liken him to a front court Keontae Kennedy.
Yep, that's
a
exactly
front
what I
court
was
Elijah McCadden, whatever it is. Like, no, I agree with that sentiment. But you need to add on top of it.
No, 1,000%. I'm just saying, like, it felt like he got Kendrick, and then it was just there's not a lot more pieces that were being added that were difference makers. Nick Jourdain is a difference maker in the front court.
Yes, I agree.